To MLB 9 innings. Today we're talking about skills again. So quickly, for those of you who are new, just going over some lingo that I use. Weighted training, I plus contact times 1.35 plus power times 1.7. So that was determined earlier video. Power is much more important to OPS and run production than say I is. Since they don't give us slugging and ranked, what I call OPS ish kind of takes just hits and home runs into account. All right, so let's look at how Altuve did. Charisma, slugger instinct, kind of underwhelming. I was expecting some good numbers. I have noticed in the first week after a player gets his skills, he doesn't seem to do that well, and it's like, oh, the second week he comes in. So I'm gonna watch to see how this week goes. Um, you know, Reddick up condition, you can see how that pushed him up. Um, and it the asterisk means master base thief bonus, except for Correa. I forgot to pull that off. Um, but you could see Springer's really underperforming. Yes, the master base thief helps other people out, but really want a Sig to really dominate, and especially a home run hitter. Master base thief, better skill for your leadoff contact guy. Um, it would be great charisma prediction with master base thief on like a singles hitter. That's sort of your ideal situation. Not your home run hitter. Batting machine itself is not really carrying it. So one task I'm going to do is try and reskill Springer. I use those premium tickets, but that wasn't good enough. I really need to just go for broke with what I got and see if I can get something better. I know I don't have a ton. All right, now let's look at the Mets team. So Conforto with charisma, barrel it up, is performing a lot better this week. It's not getting any bonus, but it's right in line with some of the other ones. So we'll see if that trend continues. Alonzo with spotlight, barrel it up, doing okay. He's also getting that bonus, but he certainly is not performing quite as well. I am a little hesitant. I think Charisma is going to get targeted with level 19 mentor. So either Charisma or Boss. So I think the impact of those skills may go down. We'll see. Um, all right. Now let's look at a D2 team. So we're going to take a look at this team in detail in a minute. It has elite skills for all of its players, so you can really see how they're performing. Mostly SIGs. So you either got Charisma, Slugger Instinct, Charisma Spotlight, and then there's two others. One Charisma Batting Machine, one Batting Machine Slugger Instinct. So you can really see here Charisma Spotlight is performing extremely well. Just as good as Charisma Slugger Instinct, if not potentially slightly better, which sort of reinforces what I'm thinking about with Molitor, is that his power isn't high enough. I might need to, when we get those redistribution tickets, um, maybe I need to just try for some really high power. My kind of thought is, hey, if the fence is 400 feet away and you can hit it 320, and now your skill helps you to hit it 370, you're still not getting it over the wall. Um, so that's kind of my thought here. Um, Maybe the same with Altuve. So I the only thing I don't know about these players is if they were in up or down condition. Um, Thing I want to talk about is equilibrium. So the idea is that you're going to end up with a batter OPS of zero point 0.8 if you constantly play. So you'll have either zero point 0.8 at D2, zero point 0.8 at Gold 2, zero point 0.8 at Silver 2. So you can see that here. Here's our D2 team. Um, Average OPS, just under zero point 0.8. So usually between 0.75, 0.8. Same up here. So you have, Hojo who's raking, but you have somebody like Ramos bringing you down. So your average is zero point 0.8. And you can even see that back here. So you're going to settle at wherever you are. So if you're above zero point 0.8, you're kind of bringing somebody up. If you're below 0.8, you're bringing somebody down. So see which batters are below 0.8. They're the people that are really hurting, and you might want to focus on skill changes. So the next thing we can look at is tiers. So this is pre-mentor tiers. So like I said, I'm a little concerned about charisma. If anything, it's not going to completely destroy it, but it may not be in this S tier all its own. So I've put the skills into tiers. I've tried to assign them some points. That way you can add up the points together and then come up with sort of a total. And then what kind of skills do you need to achieve at least 0.8 at each level? So if you're D2, you need a SIG with 180. So you need two top tier skills and be a SIG. So you can definitely see that here. If you're a normal card, so that's that blue dot here at 650. That's a Eric Karros, charisma, slugger instinct, but normal, you're not hitting it. So if you want D2, unfortunately, you need SIGs. Possibly, it would be interesting to see is if you had triple skills. So certainly possible with legends. So if you had charisma, let's say prediction and slugger instinct, all at level 7, what would that do? I don't think level 1 skills do terribly much, so I wouldn't count that at all. So now if you're D3 G1, so that's mostly playing G1, you're kind of sneaking into D3 late in the week. You can get there with 150. So charisma legend, charisma ace killer, master base thief, certainly a wild card because it's not helping you, but I threw that in there. Or if you're normal, you can have that top tier set. So you look at where McNeil is, and he's certainly at that level. If you're down G2, G3, um, you can get there with Charisma Legend, Charisma Ace Killer for a normal card. Definitely evidenced up here. Um, Remember, Ace Killer, of course, will not be in effect if you have a SIG uh, very often. So keep that in mind. In that regard, Legend would be better on a SIG set. Um, you probably get there with like a Charisma uh, full swing hitter if you're a SIG. Also, if you have something like Prediction Legend, if you were SIG, you can get there. You can see Bell is a little up. Bell's getting there with the benefit of Master Base Thief. I think he'd be under that line if he didn't. Um, and then, of course, Silver. You can basically just have one skill. So, all right, keep that in mind as you think about who to train, where you want your skills to be for what level you're aiming at. Uh, this team also has a lot of pitchers with Boss Mess. So I was trying to see if I could determine how location, velo, fastball, breaking ball affected ERA. I did that really nicely with contact, power, and eye. The benefit for that one is I had some batters that were real spread out. I had a SIG, I had a normal. Here I got five starting pitchers and one reliever. So those starting pitchers are clustered, and you can be a little too much noise. It would be better if I had a couple starting pitchers that were normal with that same skill set. But we'll see anyway. Did some regression analysis. So if you're a kid and your mom's like, why are you watching YouTube? You're like, I'm learning math. All right. So regressions are ways to use data to create a formula to show a prediction of what it would be. So using regression, kind of came up with this formula. So ERA is 15.47 minus 0.38 times location minus 0.05 times velo. You can read up here, so you can see that location and velo are having a outsized impact on ERA versus fastball or breaking ball. So if you put this formula in with these 6 pitchers, what are the results? Does it match reality? In 3 instances, yes. In 3 instances, not at all. So Maeda and Kershaw and Morrow are really either on the money or really close, whereas the other 3 are not. So maybe keep doing this, week after week, and we can really see what's going on. I also don't know if somebody was in up condition or not. Maybe that's something I can ask. But yeah, you can see back here your highest out, and this is just your average skills. So taking your velo, location, fastball, breaking ball, and averaging them, so flat average. Your highest one had also the highest ERA. So we'll see if that, and it could that holds. It also could just be what was I going to say? Hey, you play an easier team, you play a tank team. Those little things can really impact it when you're talking stuff at the margin. All right, so let's switch over. We got a couple things to do. We're gonna try and reskill Springer. We're also gonna take a look at this D2 team. Here with D2 team, this is not my team. It's the club mate, Seawees Pockham. So this is what several years of at Catholic school and Latin classes will get you, is to be able to pronounce these phrases. But you can see what you need to do to really compete at that level in terms of, hey, skills, training. You can see that these guys are all highly skilled, perfectly trained. Pitcher side, it's all boss mess, sig. So anyway, I hope that's useful in terms of thinking what your end state's gonna be. The skills you're going for. Relief pitcher, you have a little bit more leeway in terms of what is good skills, because things like win streak, fixer, setup man, even iron will come into play. But you'll see guys with boss untouchable. They go and reskill them because that's just not good enough for that level. So it's people who play play a lot. Maybe they're playing on 10 devices or something. So hope that was helpful. Let's go over and reskill Springer. Here with D2 team, this is not my team. It's the club mate, Seawees Pockham. So this is what several years of at Catholic school and Latin classes will get you, is to be able to pronounce these phrases. But you can see what you need to do to really compete at that level in terms of, hey, skills, training. You can see that these guys are all highly skilled, perfectly trained. Pitcher side, it's all boss mess, sig. So anyway, I hope that's useful in terms of thinking what your end state's gonna be. The skills you're going for. Relief pitcher, you have a little bit more leeway in terms of what is good skills, because things like win streak, fixer, setup man, even iron will come into play. But you'll see guys with boss untouchable. They go and reskill them because that's just not good enough for that level. So it's people who play play a lot. Maybe they're playing on 10 devices or something. So hope that was helpful. Let's go over and reskill Springer. All right, so knowing what we know about Springer's performance, we did try and use the premium tickets, but yesterday, but this isn't going to hold up. I just got to throw my skill change tickets at it. If he doesn't work, I got Marwin able to sub in now, so I have a strong lineup still. So that's a good place to be at, where you can have a substitute and have somebody train and sit on the bench, and as you get more skill change tickets, you could just go ahead and use them. So let's go ahead and see what we can get on Springer. Not that for sure. No. 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 This will work. Definitely will work. Um, yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. Um, we saw what the results of Slugger and Batting Machine are. I've never seen Slugger and Spotlight together, so happy with this skill set. So let's get him in the lineup so I can start training him up.